sack Russell T Davies.
You've got yourself a deal.
Doctor Who is dead. Long live Doctor Who.
It's the wilderness years again. Here we are.
V2, RTD 2, Wilderness Years 2.
Yeah.
I've taken up drinking again to get through it all.
I've lost weight with all the stress.
As devastating as it is and as weird as it all is, and we'll get into like each individual press release because RTDs is weirdly like passive aggressive, but it's for the best. It needed to happen. I mean, like this happened, and we've been saying for a long, long time it needs fresh blood. But I guess the BBC finally also decided that because they're putting it out to tender, which basically means we have no idea what we're doing. Can someone please take over from Bad Wolf?
Could they do it in-house? Could BBC decide to...
Distribution-wise, no. I think they do need some of that like foreign money.
Even if it turns around, you're looking at
2028 minimum, they said today, apparently.
Wow, I would say that's very hopeful. I was thinking 3-4 years.
That's like if next year someone is like, oh yeah, we'll take it. I think it should stay dead till 2030 minimum.
There you go.
We need to miss it. We need the nostalgia to kick in.
It's so weird, isn't it? A few years ago, it was like Disney's involved. It's going to have its own thing. And we were all very hopeful that this is going to be this
It was going to peak.
upward trajectory. RTD's coming back. And I was a believer that this guy knows what he's doing. He proved it.
Well, we've been spending the last couple of months rewatching Doctor Who, and we're like, this man is a genius.
Yeah.
Everything he does hits, except sound of drums and shit for you.
Oh, so the sound of drums is like really was a preview of what to come in terms of finales.
I think we do have to kind of place the blame with Russell T Davies. I know there's so many more people involved. Disney is notoriously gross to work with. There's a bunch of that stuff. But if you were to say, who do you think brought Billie Piper in for that final moment, despite not knowing the future of Doctor Who? It's Russell T Davies. Like, there's no getting around the fact that they brought him back to save Doctor Who, and he decided, I know what'll save Doctor Who. Sutek.
Yeah.
From the fucking 80s. Because everyone knows Sutek.
And the one living original cast member that doesn't mean any,
Yeah, like, go back to Series 1 and the way we watched it. You had no idea what a Time Lord was for years. Like, we've only just finished rewatching Series 3, and you get that big drop of the Time Lords in Gallifrey. He needed to just do that again. And that's obviously what the BBC and Disney wanted. They were like, oh, you did this 20 years ago.
Do it again.
Just do it again.
Yeah.
Wait, even before that, David Tennant. He's like, you know what? I'm going to bring back 120-year-old David Tennant that still looks like he's in his prime. I'm going to bring back Donna. I'm going to bring back the greatest hits.
That's probably the best run of this new version was those David Tennant specials.
He did get the most views in a long time, but it was definitely like a fire and gone.
Yeah.
And like renaming it Season 1 as well, but then you had Special 1, 2, and 3 before it. It was a mess right out the gate.
How do the rights work? Because over here with us, Doctor Who, Disney, the Shooty Gatwa stuff's on Disney.
Yep.
But now we're going to get all the new Who stuff's moving to
AMC. Which we don't get over here at all.
No.
Which means I don't know where it's going in Australia.
But thankfully, we've got our own. We've got the DVDs, so we're fine.
Like that Disney section of Doctor Who will always be forever trapped on Disney because of the way the rights work.
It's almost like it's not canon.
They have specified that they're retaining all the rights. They are keeping absolutely everything, like Doctor Who. They get the merch, they get everything like that. So the BBC retains all those fancy rights. They literally just want another Bad Wolf TV. They just want another production company that hopefully is best friends with Netflix. Because if they make it, then it can go somewhere. Or like, say if Sony made it, then it would go to Amazon Prime. Because Sony and Amazon are besties.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yes.
The same reason Spider-Man Noir exists. Sony is best friends with Amazon. The Boys is a Sony production.
We've been watching through, obviously, old RTD, and that grounded sort of nature of Season 1 of Doctor Who, it does kind of leak away. And by the time you get to Season 3 or 4, you are in the kooky. And then with this, you really are. Like, it's hard to believe that this guy started off with the grounded, almost 28 days later style. The Siskel and Ebert criticised Mallrats when they loved Kevin Smith's Clerks because they were like, oh, Clerks was great because of its limitations, but when you give this guy a budget, it turns out he just wants to make a load of crap. So with Russell, like the limitations that they had meant they had to be good where it counted. With this, though, he got the Disney budget and he absolute shit it.
Yeah, but they didn't hire the same man to that degree. Like, he's just not the same man that he was. So when they dragged him back here, it has all just gone so downhill. Because like, I'll read part of his Instagram post.
Like a week or two ago, he was on a radio interview and they said, we got to ask you about Doctor Who. And he's like, announcement is coming, it has to go through 50 people.
Yes, but what actually I believe happened is it wasn't going through the probably, yes, Jurassic BBC, like glacial pace. They were waiting for him to finish his tiptoe press tour because that would damage his show. Because instead of, hey, what's happening with Doctor Who? Oh, you'll have to wait and see. Announcement next week. It would be, why did Doctor Who fall apart? Fuck your new show. I don't want to talk about your new show that is apparently good. I'll watch it at some point. But we want to talk about Doctor Who. So, like, he would have said, hey, please don't do that. But I'll read his, frankly, quite passive-aggressive Instagram post. And so goodbye from me to Doctor Who, but hello to a big new future for the show, as the BBC announces it's putting the show out to tender. As a result, there won't be a Christmas special. We only cooked that up to guarantee a future when no one knew what would happen, but now we know there's no need for it. And that pisses me off because Murray Gold, the composer, was out here saying, oh, I've gotten 5 scripts. They're all brilliant. Everyone's mouth was agape.
He's lying.
Yeah, he's just straight up creating content. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, any benefit of the doubt I could give him, it doesn't seem like it's a good ending because he goes on to say, you'll have to wait a bit longer for new Doctor Who, but you'll be waiting for more Doctor Who rather than a one-off, which is stupid because let's just think for a minute of where he's left Doctor Who. Billie Piper's fucking face.
Well, whoever's coming in is going to do like a soft reboot.
They have to.
Yeah, it's a new Doctor. It's not going to be Billie Piper. They're going to do all that again.
Even if you wanted to raw dog go with it from Billie Piper's face, she's going to age 5 years between now and then.
I suppose all that ends up now becoming, even though this is technically not New Who, it's Disney Who, it ends up being this weird, like, and now we close the book on Doctor Who, where the first face this face saw of Doctor Who was Billie Piper, and now it's the last face that goes.
That's why a Christmas special would have been good, though, because you could have done like a small-scale story, celebrate Doctor Who, round it all off.
Yeah.
Like the rumours that were David Tennant and Billie Piper in a room with no budget, like doing something interesting. You could have done something, but apparently no one knew what the fuck was going on.
It was just a content grab, like, hopefully this will get people excited and we can come back.
Because the BBC has kicked him out. They announced a Christmas special. It seems like they were like, we're going to do a Christmas special.
Last year.
Please give us a script. And RTD was like, no, the best I can do is Billie Piper's face. And it's like, I don't think the man knew who the boss was. Do you remember the boss at all? That was the cliffhangery, like, dangling thing.
Yes.
He's like, the boss will hear of this. He didn't know who the fuck the boss was.
He really car parks it.
I guarantee Mrs. Flood was not the Rani until a week before he had to hand that script in.
Yeah.
Honest to God, it was so out of nowhere.
And the bullshit master thing of the
choir. Yeah, the thing in the tooth, he's just repeating himself. He's just out of ideas. I got to not get too angry at him. Oh, that's what this will become. we have a whole video called How RTD Killed Doctor Who. Go check that video out.
It's like poetry. Right?
And then he continues with, for the record, there was no script. I never wrote it, and no actor was ever approached to play the next Doctor. So I guess that rules out Billie?
Yeah.
He's just spiteful, it seems.
Well, it's also just to kill rumours that people are like, oh, they did have something, but they didn't like it.
But wouldn't that be a good rumour to have? Why would you go out of your way to discredit something you sparked?
It is weird to do the Billie thing and have that she was never going to be the Doctor. It was just and it said introducing Billie Piper, didn't it? What a weird way to end the show.
You may disagree. Fine. Sit in a chair and wait to be proved right. You'll be waiting a long time. That sounds so petty. Like, this relationship with the BBC did not end well. I do not see him, Bad Wolf, and the BBC all breaking up like this and him being like, there was no script. I never wrote a script. Wouldn't you just be like, oh, I had some great stuff, but
it's what it is.
It's better if we wait.
Yeah.
Like, I came up with the best thing ever, but then I realized, no, someone else can do better.
Because whatever interest there was got killed. Like, Doctor Who was on such low numbers by the end, right, of Shootie's era. Like, we really were on low numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the...
And about 12 of you watched me in Doctor Who. Hey, maybe that's why I kept crying.
12 people.
Yeah.
So, like, 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
5.
There wasn't many of us by the end, and the show had no real impact culturally. It wasn't really a part of any kind of cultural hub or conversation.
And it's just like, if you ended earlier of him just going bloom, like they did with...
Jodie right there, they were unsure for a second, and Russell was the 11th hour, like, I'll come back and do it. Yeah.
Even Chris Chibnall had the sense of, let's fade to black, and then we can do whatever we want. And then Russell came in and said, no, Dress him like a man. Put him on a green screen.
It's so crazy to think that all of that, this new Russell era, was 3 years ago, 2023.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shooty was the Doctor for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He won't even remember it, honestly. Like when people
we
ask
won't
him...
either. It'll be that weird era where a Doctor didn't face the Master, a Dalek, or Cyberman.
You talk to David Tennant. You can't get through a David Tennant interview without him being like, I was the Doctor. Matt Smith, he was the Doctor.
Yeah.
Heck, even probably Jodie, the Doctor is the biggest thing
Paul
she's ever
McGann.
done. Fit Paul McGann in a room for the Christmas special. Give me Paul McGann, the untold story.
We aren't even going to see Shooty at conventions like the way we see like Matt Smith at conventions.
I don't think he's happy that he was the Doctor. I think it was a Christopher Eccleston level, like, fuck around for him.
It delayed his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimately. And, like, they annoyed him. That's the reason they cancelled it, because it seems like either, obviously it's all speculation, but someone wouldn't let go. Disney is probably massively at fault as well for being like, we're not going to renew it until all of it's on our platform, which then delays us by multiple years. So I think they had quit it by the time they were ready to play it. They still haven't aired over here in Australia.
Yeah, officially.
Fish Show.
Yeah. The War Between. It's officially not been released,
That's how little Disney wants this product. They paid money for War Between the Land and the Sea.
They can just drop it at this point.
Yeah.
Just drop it.
But I don't even think they can tax write off it because it's been released.
It's been released. We
Whereas
watched it.
they can't pull a Zaslav.
Yeah.
It's out there, and they're willing to cop it rather than just put it on their streaming service that would cost them nothing.
Yeah.
What if it accidentally blew up? It's happened before.
Yeah, it's weird that this is where we're at because it's been a year since Doctor Who finished, right?
Just over, I think. Yeah.
So it's took us a year to be told, yeah, never mind. And it's just wild that this is where it ends. Like, it ends on such a nothing. Like, I mean, I guess you and I are going to be taking our time with the retrospectives.
But with a whimper.
I guess most people will say, I mean, I'm not too familiar with the Jodie stuff, is you stop watching when Capaldi leaves. It's probably the safest bet, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, and that's what, 10 seasons, 12 seasons of good TV?
It's such a weird wilderness, because, like, when the wilderness years happened, they didn't know what was going to happen. So they had...
magazines, books,
they had him walk off
audiobooks.
into the sunset with Ace. And they were like, maybe we'll get some other adventures, yada, yada. You had an incumbent Doctor.
Yeah.
I guess Big Finish is probably frothing at the mouth that Billie Piper's a Doctor now, but also none of it's canon. But I wonder if that's freeing for them, that they can just be like, we're going to do whatever the fuck you want.
I think Russell and Chris Chibnall have blown up so much canon that a new production team coming in. Do you, I mean, this would be controversial, you don't reboot, do you?
No. Never reboot. I think after the success of 2005 and the fact that it seamlessly moved on of like, I am just the next guy. You saw your movie, I'm the next guy. You have to do that, but I vote time jump. Heck, forget 5 Doctors. Pretend Billie Piper was a Doctor, then there was a few more, and then there was another one.
Yeah.
Start that scratch. But again, that's a whole different writing challenge. It's crazy. I am confident it will never die, and my favorite show will be back, because it is such a perfect concept.
It needs everything. It needs a new take. We
Bring
have
back
still
Stephen
got
Moffat.
we have still got the CBB kids show.
The CBBS is still coming out. We will be reviewing the CBBS.
Yeah, because we've got nothing
Doctor
else
Who.
to. Yeah,
because we have no other
we're
Doctor
nothing
Who
in the wilderness. Well, thankfully,
because
we're prime for wilderness years because we're doing our retrospectives. We've got plenty of Doctor Who work to get through.
Heck, we'll hit the classic if we have to.
Yeah, it's just so weird that this is where, I mean, the show tried to be back for a minute there with Christmas specials and all that, and just had no cultural punch to it. It just felt like it wasn't for anyone watching it.
I think I look back on a total of like 2 or 3 episodes fondly out of 16.
Probably the weakest Doctor ever, right? In terms of run, stories, everything. Like, the
Sadly.
weakest run ever. Like, even Jodie has better stuff.
That's why I want to do the reviews. When we
we
get
go
back
with
through it,
that.
I want to be like, whether it's a noticeable drop or a jump or what.
I'd be interested to see what they come up with, but it definitely needs a new everything. It needs just that people our age, the kids who grew up on the early Russell stuff.
That was something I wanted to touch
Yeah.
on. One of the main reasons I think this is a good thing that it goes out tender is that we've had a massive resurgence at the moment of young directors.
YouTube
like we've just had
filmmakers,
Obsession, Backrooms, the Rack is doing shit.
Iron Lung, Chris Stuckman.
Everyone that's just more talented than us, including Chris Stuckman.
Yeah, you are more talented than us, Chris.
Like the showrunner was Russell T. Davies, who then was taken over by Stephen Moffat, slightly younger than him, at almost 50, who was then taken over by the young gun of the time, Chris Chibnall, who was almost 50. And I'm like, heck, let's give a 40-year-old guy a shot. Let's go a little younger.
Someone whose first Doctor was Matt Smith.
Honestly, like I think that's what we need. We need a passion, we need a fire. And I think it's out there, please. But I was recently in Wales.
Yeah.
There wasn't a fucking TARDIS in sight. I searched that goddamn place.
Yeah.
Couldn't find anything. I found Torchwood Base, bare empty. All over London. There is one TARDIS in London and it's in goddamn Oxford. And it's like not even a good TARDIS. It's not even an actual police box or anything like that. It's not even someone decided to paint a telephone box blue. It's literally like an electrical box that some guy slapped some wood on, and I guess no one noticed.
Cool.
Like, no one in England cares about Doctor Who. And that really upsets me.
Yeah, it lost its cultural impact around, really around like the Capaldi stuff, particularly when Capaldi was gone, it definitely had lost it. But its peak is the Tennant Smith era. Like, that's its peak of cultural.
This is a good thing, but it does suck.
We all knew it was going to happen. I mean, we knew pretty early on that this stuff wasn't working like anywhere, like it wasn't good. It wasn't fun. People weren't tuning in.
We were saying this when Jodie was wrapping up and everything was garbage. We were saying, give it time. Like, let us miss it. Instead, we got beaten over the head with nostalgia, and now we're right back to where we started.
Yeah.
And it's give it time. Should we throw our hat in the ring and do a video where we're like, how to reboot?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Stay tuned. We're going to offer to make this show for $27.50.
That's it.
If you want to contribute to us pitching for Doctor Who, please like and subscribe and give us money. There's an option for that down below. And that will all go towards the We Will Buy Doctor Who.
Yeah, we'll move to Wales. We'll do it.
That's the thing. It wouldn't even be set in Wales anymore.
Well, why can't it be set in Australia?
That was Bad Wolf. We have good Australian film stuff, like Grants and stuff. They shot Godzilla here. Chris Hemsworth's newest thing is
here.
Why
not have the Doctor land in Beanley or something? You know.
Da.
Yeah, well, it happened with the Seventh Doctor, right?
That's how we get Billie Piper to get off a train at Beanley. She gets shanked.
Yeah.
She's like, can I have a ciggy? And then she dies, regenerates,
into
new
someone.
Doctor.
Yeah, there we go. We did it.
Round of applause. You're welcome, BBC.
Chris Eccleston gets the last laugh. He's been waiting a few decades for it, but here
the
it
man
is.
never misses.
Yeah, he did it. So maybe we get Chris back, eh?
Sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.
He said fire them all, and the BBC did it.
So maybe we'll get a Christmas special with Chris or something.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
God, that'd be so fucking good. Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.